Did you take a crayon to Pat Paul's door? Did you mark on the door? Did you mark on the door? You did that. Now Pat Paul's going to have to paint that door. That's the, oh, you okay?
Yeah.
You okay? Yeah, that's the dog door. Can you bark? Ruff, ruff, ruff.
Help.
Okay. Say motorcycle. Motorcycle. Say motorcycle.
Papa, fit it.
Papa, fix it. All right. Final repair on this bike to get it roadworthy. And when this bike was wrecked, it landed on the right side and broke the whole shifter mechanism off. All that was left was a base plate. And it seems like every wrecked Kawasaki Volcan S out there has been wrecked on the same side. There is no used parts for this assembly. So to break this, to order this replacement shifter assembly and foot peg from Kawasaki, you got to order it piece by piece. This assembly is right at $800 if you order it piece by piece. So, and again, I'm thinking out of the box. Like I said, my total budget for this bike, $1,750. So I'm going to show you my solution to resolve this issue. Up top here, I'm going to post a picture of what the factory shifter assembly looks like, the one I'm not going to spend $700 on. So what I did, I got on Amazon and I ordered a Amazon forward control kit for a Harley-Davidson Sportster. And this was my kit that come from Amazon. I'll place a part number. And the way this works is, you know, this is obviously is for a Harley Sportster. This goes on here like this. This assembly's threaded. This goes on. Sorry, doing this one-handed. And here's your shifter assembly. So you get the ideal, then the foot peg goes on here. So here's the assembly. Well, this is for a Sportster, so thinking out of the box, I had to make some modification to resolve this repair to keep all this assembly down to like 118 bucks. That's with shipping and tax. So this side covers, you have a brake side, which I don't need none of that. You know, this is forward controls for both sides. You know, all these different linkages and shift rods. Well, I'm only repairing the one side, and I'm going to make everything match as equal as I can. So I use one bracket. So I'm not using these plates right here. So this piece, which screws into this base plate, sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed. This is the factory assembly that come in this kit. This is where I split it. This was put in a lathe and machined. This is the Kawasaki bracket that was usable. I put this in a press and straightened it. So as you can see here, this is my bracket from Amazon that was cut off, and I determined the dimension I needed, this space here, to make this work. So this is going to go on the bike. So there's the assembly. So, and again, I apologize, I'm doing this one-handed, so I'm going to get this installed and see what this looks like. a little tight fit, but I think we can make this work. Oh yeah. Now this plate was bent during the accident, and I pressed it, straightened it out, and I calculated the dimensions of this to put this at the exact spacing as the factory stance of the footrest and shifter. So the plate pulling in nice and tight. I'm using German torque specs, good and tight. So get this all good and tight, and we'll be there. Okay, let's get her. So remember how all this went back together. Sometimes it's best to take pictures when you're doing this kind of work. Oh yeah. Here we go. Got a radiator reservoir cover put on here. Now, before I put the footrest on, I have a shift rod and a linkage assembly. We just need to determine some dimensions where we need to be. And this other shift rod's broke, but I got new adapters to go on here. So we will get some measurements here and do some modifications, and I'll get back with you here in a few. Not too bad. Really happy the way this worked out. I gotta make an adapter coupling for the two shift rods. Everything is lined up perfectly. I'll have it going. Character. Foot spacing, everything is perfect. Perfect. So it'll work out okay. Like I said, I'm making it a rider, not a showpiece, because my budget was $1,750. Factory mirror. Old mirror off my Kawasaki Versus. I got a lot of Kawasaki Versus pieces left over because my Kawasaki Versus, the one that the tornado got out there in Kansas, when I got rid of that bike, I traded it in. I stripped all of the new parts off of it. All the new boxes, every new part they put on that bike besides the frame, I removed and put all the old parts back on the bike. So all the boxes, the panniers, the top box, even the turn signals. I even put the broken turn signals back on it with new lenses. So all the parts that was JB welded went back on that bike because it was going to the auction anyways, and the dealer knew I was doing it. So I have a lot of spare motorcycle parts laying around. So let's see what this looks like. So, all thing left to do now, this is the factory shift rod. the new aftermarket shift rod. I just got to make me an adapter coupling to put these together, and I will be good to go. So I'll cut this off, I'll tap this and put an adapter coupling in here. That way I'll leave the factory shift linkage on there, and I'll have the adjustment up here, and I can adjust this where I want it. Then I will be good to go. So by tomorrow, this thing will be roadworthy, be riding and going down the road. Right here is this case got scarred up pretty bad. I was just testing it. I'm gonna order a new case. It's not busted, it was just scratched real deep. This is 50 bucks through Amazon, but this will come up later. I'm gonna put some miles on the bike and check everything out. But I put some good old JB Weld on here to just ensure everything was good. This case was fine before. It just had a deep groove in it. So it's coming along. Whoa. Get a little work here done on it. Like I said, get the bike going, and I'm going to have some fun out of it. Not part of the budget. I'm going to ride it for a little while. And then I'm going to put some, if I can get them in this 18-inch wheel size, I'm going to put some Cinco 805s on here. I'm going to put full 90-10 off-road tires on it. Yeah, it's not a KLR, but to me, for what I got in it, I am going to use this as a dual sport. I'm going to make me a skid plate for it. So I'm going to have fun out of this bike. You know, like I said, my whole budget, $1,750. Keep repeating like a broken record, but I get it back together. I'm going to have fun out of this bike, or let friends ride it that ain't got a bike. I'll let friends ride it. I will do something with this bike. I'll have a lot of fun out of it. And that's all I'm trying to express with these updates on this bike is it don't take a lot of money to get in to this. It's putting in a little work and time. Everything I'm doing, there's nothing that's not unsafe. The bolt sizes, I actually put the same size bolt, but I actually went up a size for this mount. This was rubber mounted with the factory ones. This one is not rubber mounted. It's solid mounted, but this has a bigger bolt and harder bolt than what the factory had in the original peg. So again, I'm making it a rider, not a looker. Like I said, factory mirror, Kawasaki Versus mirror, but it works. It serves the purpose. It looks backwards. It looks backwards. That's all I'm looking for. And these panniers, man, it worked out really good. Let me grab my keys. Let me see if I can do this one-handed. Not the best at this. There we go. So put these back on. There it is. Well, once again, everybody, thanks for watching this video. We'll keep updating as it's going, but I think I'm pretty much good to go. Make sure I got this thing in neutral. Yep.